Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of subscriber Michael, who has me playing Red Planeswalker Prison. I played Modern Red Prison on the channel a couple of months ago. Michael saw the video and wanted to try a different take on it. And his version is a different kind of prison-y. Still has Blood Moon, which is one of the more potent cards that exist in the Modern card pool. But he's got Ensnaring Bridge rather than things like Trinisphere. And in my last league that I played, I did make the observation that Trinisphere was not really that good in Modern. It's great against like Cascade decks, but really the Modern format is much more fair than something like Legacy or Vintage, where every card costs 1 and Trinisphere is a huge beating. But Modern's full of cards that just cost 3, 4, and 5 anyway. So Trinisphere, less potent than I'd like. But in Ensnaring Bridge, there's a lot of attacking being done in the Modern format. And rather than play like 1 in the card board, we just have 3 in the main and 1 in the card board. I don't know if 4 is overkill for this, but I really wanted to lean into proof of concept on Ensnaring Bridge and Blood Moon as my 2 prison elements. And these 2 things slow down my opponent's ability to play the game at all, or slow down their ability to win the game even if they're playing it. And having 2 or 3 Ensnaring Bridges in the mix, every deck has Boseiju or Otawara or something like that just baked into the mana base now. It's very easy to Fairy Time Raveler. It's very easy for decks to naturally remove 1 Ensnaring Bridge, but the second or third start to become a problem. And once we're hiding behind the shields, we've got Fable of the Mirror Breaker, of course, as a 4 of, just insane red value engine, needs no introduction. Seasoned Pyromancer for some additional card selection. Between Fable and Seasoned Pyromancer, we should be able to keep the cards flowing, discard additional Ensnaring Bridges or Blood Moons we don't need, etc. Fury, of course, a 4 of. And then we talk about the interesting part, which is this spread of Planeswalkers through the middle. Chandra, Dress to Kill, 3 mana plus, add a red, deals 1 to a player or Planeswalker. That's a win condition, count it. And plus, exile the top card of your library. If it's red, you may cast it this turn. Most of my cards are red. Ensnaring Bridge misses, Karn misses, Relic of Progenitus misses. Every other card you can cast. And then her ultimate is kind of GG. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast red spells from among them this turn. And you get an emblem with whenever you cast a red spell, this emblem deals X to any target, where X is the total amount of mana spent to cast that spell. That's just an emblem that will kill my opponent eventually if they don't die on the spot. Karn the Great Creator, of course. We all know Karn. He is potent against certain decks on his own. Decks like Hammer or Tron, he can just turn off core components of their engine. And we get this robust artifact sideboard. Stonebrain, Unlicensed Hearse, the 4th Ensnaring Bridge, Chalice of the Void, Damping Sphere, Liquid Metal Coating, Sorcerer's Spyglass, Walking Ballista, and a pair of Torpor Orbs are what's available in the Karn board. Just kind of a tool for every situation. I thought about borrowing from Pioneer and playing a Cityscape Leveler. Leveler would give me an out to specific situations like Leyline of Sanctity that makes it hard to burn out an opponent. Never mind, I just talked myself into it. I'm gonna put a Cityscape Leveler in here. It could go over the 4th bridge and just trust the main deck to provide that, or it could go over one of the Torpor Orbs. I think I'm gonna cut an orb. I'm not gonna do it right now live on camera because I have to go get it from Card Hoarder, but one of these Torpor Orbs will be Cityscape Leveler when we play the league. That's why we talk about it. These are works in progress. Then we've got Chandra, Flame Artisan. Whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra, it deals that much damage to target opponent or Planeswalker. That means if you minus her, or if she gets damaged, your opponent gets punished for it. And she has plus exile the top card of your library you may play it this turn, and -7 exile the top 7 cards of your library you may play them this turn. Just a source of card advantage and sort of a rattlesnake / win con of, are you going to leave this thing in play or are you going to take 5 to kill it? Pretty cool. Chandra TOD, the original mighty red stompy legacy playable red planeswalker. Plus exile the top card of your library, you may cast that card. If you don't, Chandra deals 2 to each opponent. Plus add red, -3 deals 4 to a creature, and -7 you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, deal 5 to anything. That's a game ender. Jaya Fiery Negotiator, now we're getting spicy. Plus make a 1/1 red monk with prowess. -1 exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them, you may play that card this turn. -2, choose target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. That ability was much more exciting. Early builds of this had Goblin Rabblemaster, where you could just wipe out anything, but there are still Fable tokens, Seasoned Pyromancer, Bone Crusher Giant, and the monks that are made out of this. I think that's still going to be good enough. And this emblem is mostly flavor text. It's when you cast a red instant or sorcery, copy it twice. There are very few of those in this deck. Koth of the Hammer, love this guy. Plus, untap target mountain, it becomes a 4/4 red elemental creature until end of turn. -2, add red for each mountain you control. And -5, you get an emblem with mountains you control have tapped. This land deals 1 to any target. With Blood Moon, lands become even more mountains. And I imagine Koth will be, dare I say, a hammer in this deck. I didn't want more than one because he's really bad at protecting himself, which is something that most of these other planeswalkers do in some capacity, or they're so cheap that they don't need to do that. But that's the Planeswalker suite. And Light Up the Night is a card that was in Michael's original list. This is a card that I think I probably saw once and then never thought about again in my life, but it's exciting here. It's a fireball, red X, deal X to any target. If that target is a creature or planeswalker, deal X+1 instead. And it has flashback 4, remove X loyalty counters from among planeswalkers you control. If you just have some planeswalkers kicking around, 4 mana, you could do, 8-10 damage or beyond. If you have Chandra Fire Artisan, you get to double dip because you remove the loyalty counters and she deals that much damage to a player. I can see Light Up the Night one-shotting an opponent from over 10 life pretty easily in this deck. Michael's original build had a lot of these. I think there were 3 in the original, but I focused more on the prison elements, dropped the planeswalker curve a little bit, and I have 1 of these left as a big payoff. It's also a cool card to loot away with Fable or Seasoned Pyromancer, because flashback. And to kind of break the rules of engagement in Modern, 4 Gemstone Cavern to accelerate mana, and 4 Desperate Ritual. We want to do a 3 mana thing on turn 1 or 2 as often as possible, and lock opponents out of the game. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to go grab that Cityscape Leveler, then we will play this league. This is Michael's Planeswalker Prison. I'm on the play in round 1. My hand is not exactly exploding, but Relic is a redraw and it's potent in some matchups. And I have Chandra. I'll keep it. Let's just see Living End and Concession to this Relic. That would be great. Or Renin 6 deck that was counting on this. Horizon Canopy probably doesn't care much about Relic. Some Humans deck, yeah. Whack. Blast Zone's good here. Shatterskull Smashing, good chance it's solid here. Oh, Fury. I have faith in that one to do something in the White Humans matchup. I'll let Esper Sentinel hang out for a minute, though. Probably just drawing a card with Relic. Pigment Inspector, you got it. What am I worried about here? Talia's Lieutenant makes the board kind of annoying. Second Fury. Okay. Basically, what I'm thinking about here is, what if I just play Blast Zone and wipe up all these 1-drops next turn without using a Fury? Just make sure I know what Blast Zone does. It does not enter tapped, and it does enter with 1 counter, and it costs 3 to pop. So, yes. Those are all the things that I thought it did. I'm pitch casting Fury anyway, so Elite Spellbinder or Anointed Peacekeeper don't matter. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. Life total is a resource. Or Force of Virtue. Okay. Oh, they did this in my main phase. That was generous of them. Okay, now I am incentivized. No, it's the same. Like, I could Fury this Esper Sentinel, play Chandra Dress to Kill, but now Blast Zone is even more tempting, not less, so let's go. Pitched a Shining Shoal, my goodness. Glad I didn't try to Fury them. Just dump out 2 more 1-drops, please. What could go wrong? It's cracking a clue. That's kind of a sad turn. Please play land 1-drop. Land 1-drop. No love. Okay. Blast Zone. Get in there. And I'm just gonna blast the zone, I think. I don't want to take 4 and letting them untap. I don't know what all the tricks are, but it seems reasonable that there could be some, your creature gains indestructible effect in this deck. This is Adeline. The Force of Virtue does make her bigger than Fury. Champ. And Vanguard. Yikes. Ward is good. Each other human you control has Ward. Yeah, that does say other, which is a nice word. I could Chandra and minus on Vanguard, which does mean Chandra is dying to the champ, but that's damage I'm not taking, and I have to clear this ward, and they could have Shining Shoal and just blow me out here. But that's going to get me at some point. I'm a whole deck based around dealing damage. Indeed. They exiled a card that costs 3, so Adeline's gone. And this Copper Coat is in play with 1 damage on it. And this ward sucks ass. It's almost perfect, but instead it is imperfect. And I think I'd rather Fury twice next turn than Fury once. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just see what happens. I might be dead, but they are getting low on cards over there. 1 card left in hand. Of course it's Adeline. Yikes. Is this board clearable? It will depend on if they respect Chandra or not, which it would be crazy not to, I think. Oh yeah, they get the free 2/1 attacker that just gets to pick off Chandra for nothing. Or am I dead here? 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm just dead. Yeah, this is 12. You figured it out. Okay. Disappointing. I might have played with fire a little longer than I should have there. Brotherhood's End comes in. I think I just want to raw dog the Ensnaring Bridge as often as possible. Just spending 4 for card and then another 3 for bridge seems like I might just die. I don't think I want anything else from this pile, and Relic doesn't do anything for the matchup, so that can go. Okay, easy sideboard. On the play with a 1-lander, that's not going to do it. I'm going to send this one. Okay, no red sources, but I do have Ensnaring Bridge and a removal spell. I'm going to keep this, and I think I send it's easy peasy out of this hand. Basically, the game here is find a red source before I'm dead. I play a lot of them. Cavern of Souls, this is why I didn't try to chalice them. That's for Sentinel. Okay, still playing the find a red source game. Uppercoat Vanguard, at least it's not Thalia. Okay, I need a red source now. It's time. Or really any land now. Okay, yeah, Gemstone Cavern. Not pretty, but it works. I get to draw with Esper Sentinel, but I'm going to start trying to get my hand empty. Now I really need a red source. Like, for real, for real. Take your card. That's the price of doing business here. A red land to get Desperate Ritual plus another card out of my hand are good. Fury getting 2 cards out of my hand is good here. Honestly, I'm more worried about my hand size than anything else at this point. Raven Inspector. Thalia. Okay, deck. Basic mountain, please. Mountain, mountain, mountain. Oh no! Alright, well, instead of winning this game, we're about to lose it. That sucks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on board. So now I have 5 cards in hand. Yeah, if I draw a mountain, that's 4 cards, rituals 3, play, Fable, that's 2, and then Thalia can't attack, and I have a blocker for the other things, and then loot away, and then we're winning. A disappointing run here. And I can't activate Blast Zone with what I have. I can charge one of the Blast Zones, though, and maybe clear some of these 2s. X charge counters on this. I'll bring it up to 2. More like 2 late, am I right? And didn't even matter. Okay. I mean, I kept that one on spec. We knew it. We did stick the Ensnaring Bridge on time, but 10 cards into the deck without a red source. Tough beats. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw for round 2. I have 3 mana sources and types of interaction. I'm in. Lifts. Uh-oh. Are we getting scammed? Seized. We might just lose the Relic here. This is a deck that frequently cares about its graveyard. Though Fury also stops a lot of what they're up to. I don't know. We'll find out soon. Seasoned Pyromancer. Interesting take. Gemstone Caverns arriving right on time. Piece of crap. Relic. And I am just gonna ding them with the Relic now. That's not getting any better. Might as well hit it. I tap Blood Crypt and pass. Interesting. Alright, I got plenty of lands at this point. I don't need to play out Shatterskull Smashing. That will be better as a Shatterskull Smashing or a red card, almost certainly. Alright, what's going on here? Please cast Blood Moon. Probably Fable. Oh, your own Seasoned Pyromancer. Fair enough. Discarded Blood Moon and Thoughtseize. Yeah, good call. Those are not helpful cards here. Fury mops up the whole board, and I can clear the graveyard. Chandra deals damage to player or planeswalkers. She cannot kill creatures, unfortunately. I can get Chandra in this turn, though. Yeah, because she makes red. Cool. Alright, get Chandra in. Plus her to add red. Deal 1 to my opponent. Fury. Exile the Smashing. Spread this 4 damage. Oh, I could have stacked this so Fury was still in my graveyard. I don't know if that matters. But it could have been done. Just saying. Yeah, I could have sequenced that better. Thoughtseize takes Light Up the Night. That's kind of disappointing. Having a Fireball in this position is not the worst thing. Another Pyromancer. With 2 more spells. And I draw Fury. Ooh, alright. Big Chandra's here. What can she do? She can make red. She could kill Seasoned Pyro while other Chandra ticks up. This does not divide itself in any sort of way. It just goes upstairs. Are there any 2 mana red cards I could pay out with Big Chandra? I don't think so. I think I'm just plussing both Planeswalkers. Deal 1 to my opponent, play Big Chandra. Yeah, just kind of racing with the... Not casting Fable. Disappointing. Would have liked to cast that card. But Light Up the Night is actually threatening the game here. I can deal 3 with my 2 Planeswalkers. Dashing Rag. Please go face. But you probably should kill a Planeswalker. Ooh. The Rag is going face. Interesting. I think that's really greedy. Exile Blast Zone. Are they just dead to Light Up the Night here? Draw for turn. Blood Moon, not a helpful card. I can deal 3 to my opponent, put them to 8, and my Planeswalkers will have a total of 7. Ah, come on. Yeah, these are all +1s, unfortunately. Oh, wait. I'm just stupid. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. Yes, I have lethal here. Jesus. Okay, ping my opponent. Plus Big Chandra. Ensnaring Bridge. I'm not going to cast that. And then Remove 8 loyalty. This is how this works, right? Ooh, this is fun. You click on your Planeswalker and the loyalty goes down. Done. Take 8. That was a pretty cool way to finish a game. We did the thing. Put it on the board. We are playing against another Blood Moon deck, so I will be cutting my Blood Moons, though it hurts them more than it hurts me. But I still think it should not be in. I think Chalice on 1 meaningfully impacts their board, or their deck, which it barely affects me at all. Walking Ballista is just a card with stats. Oh, Torpor Orb stops the scamming. And Unlicensed Hearse, they are kind of a graveyard deck. Is there a 5th card I would like to cut? I don't think so. But Torpor Orb stops Grief and Fury from actually killing my stuff, but it also stops my Fury from killing their stuff. They have a bunch of young old Pyromancers, though, and I don't. Brotherhood's End looks like it should be in too. Okay. I have some more sideboarding to do. It's not going to be as easy as cutting the Blood Moons. I think Bridge is good. Getting Hellbent in this matchup is likely to occur. Relic's good. Light Up the Night is a game ender, as we just learned. Jaya creating 1/1s every turn is a pretty big deal. That's annoying for them to deal with. Fury is one of my best cards. Fire Artisan can flip a race like a boss. This is tough. Maybe it's not about speed. I can cut Desperate Rituals, and against the deck that's trying to rip my hand apart, just focus on playing solid Magic cards rather than accelerating things out. Sure. I'm in. I talked myself into it. A hand with no mana sources. I'll mulligan this. Okay. I am accelerating if I want to. I can decline to Gemstone Cavern if I'd rather just keep cards in my hand. That seems silly, though. I'm going to keep this bottom, because I have to exile something to Cavern. So this is a 5-card hand if I want a Cavern. I think I'm going to bottom Karn and exile Ensnaring Bridge. It just seems like Fury, though Ensnaring Bridge does a pretty good Fury impression. And bottoming Karn. And then Cavern. And exiling a land is the easy one, but then I'm not guaranteed 3 mana, which is where this world falls apart. Cavern is in. I guess maybe I pitched the Fury, because I have already pitched 2 cards in this hand, and pitching another one seems so crazy, and they're going to start discarding me. Yeah, there's just like not even a world where I'm interested in that. Basically, the game I've signed up to play here is I'm in top deck mode anyway, so let's just have more mana. They did grief scam me. My hand is a number of random cards. Now I have a sweeper. Okay. Put something into play that dies to Brotherhood's End and pass the turn. That's what I want. Not that. That doesn't die to Brotherhood's End. Not in that mode. They took my Shatter Skull Smashing. I didn't really want that. That's fine. A Fury. 3 damage to each. Oh shit. Brotherhood's End says Planeswalker on it. That would have got me. Maybe I should be playing Anger of the Gods in this deck. I think I messed that up. Yeah, dealing 3 to each Planeswalker? That's like defeats the whole point of a Pyroclasm in a Planeswalker control deck. Yikes. Also yikes for this Ragavan. I would like to draw a Chalice of the Void or a Stomp to deal with this thing. Oh, they just flipped a Chalice. They're unlikely to play that one. But it was there. I called it out. Count that in the BoshNRoll playlist of summoning the card to the top of the deck. Pyromancer. Discarding a Fury, drawing 2 fresh ones. Okay, I'm almost on Fury here. This costs 5 to exile. Yep. No love from that. Gonna have to take another beating, but my next untapped mana source gets me Fury. They're gonna keep ragging in here. And they exiled a Gemstone Cavern. That was a legendary land. I'm glad that's gone. And a source. Oh, I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fury, get in. Equalize the board. And block Ragavan. I'm hellbent. All their discard is irrelevant now, which is where this game was always going to go. You have your own Fury to Fury me back. Disappointing. Now it's time to draw what? Jaya? I am dead on. Nope, not dead on board. I can exile my Pyromancer and eat Ragavan, and chump Fury. They know how Pyromancer works, so they didn't even fire in the Rag. Block to be alive. Okay, now Chandra Torture Defiance is a banger. That is actually stable on this board. Okay, not as stable now, but still really good. Alright, big Planeswalker. Blast Zone kills Ragavan. I could just go to 2 here. And I need to top deck a removal spell anyway. So like blow up Rag, block to rock, and go to 2. Dead to any lightning bolt. Alright, dead to that too. That works. Story checks out. Okay, Ragavan in combination with 3 Furies. Tough crowd. The rock is in their deck. I wish this deck had some plan to board out or somehow use the Gemstone Caverns when you're on the play, but it doesn't. Alright, I'm just gonna run it as is. I think this is still the deck that I can present. Okay, I will keep this hand with 7 cards in it. And I'm gonna lead on Gemstone Cavern rather than Ramanap, because I don't really want to take one from my lands. I guess they both tap for colorless pain free. That doesn't make any sense. Well, it doesn't hurt either. I'm not doing anything, but I forgot Ramanap Ruins taps for colorless for free. It's been a while since I played with this one. The hand is pretty stacked, though, if I find land number 3 before it's too late. Got there. I am going to play the Ruins. I don't want to give them the information that I drew Mountain for free. Dashing Rag. Annoying. My hand is actually set up this game, which it was not last game. Exiled Scavenging Grounds. That's a piece of graveyard hate gone. Yeah, just feed me these lands, deck. Thank you. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. First appearance in the league. One of the best cards in the deck. It's finally in play. I will block this Ragavan so fast, by the way, if that's their plan. Reef. They could have cast this and they scammed it instead. So probably getting a flicker here. And they pitched a Terminate to do it. Alright. 100 TOD gone. Expect we're about to lose Karn as well. But Fable's not a bad consolation prize if I only get to keep 1 card in my hand. That's not a land. We're holding Ragavan and 2 mystery cards. Off return, Light Up the Night. Okay. I am actually not going to discard anything. I mean, Light Up is still a removal spell, so no, just politely decline and go to combat. I'm gonna need the treasure for all the things I want to do this turn. Mountain, Fable, number 2, and then Light Up the Night gets a bonus if it targets a creature or planeswalker. So X equals 1 will kill this Grief. And I sequenced the way I did, because if they have another scam spell that brings this Grief back, now I'm hellbent and I don't even care. Alright, let's party. F6. Light Up the Night, threatening lethal. As soon as I find some planeswalkers. Fetching a Blood Crypt in the end step. I know they have Ragavan in their hand. There's a Fury, pitching the Ragavan. Or pitching a Ragavan. Good chance there's more. They travel in packs. They're a social animal. No Feign Death, okay. Scamming up the Fury. Nothing else to kill, but that is a Gigundous creature I have to worry about. Alright, Chandra Torture Defiance off the top. Karn the Great Creator. I'll take that one. I am not going to loot away Karn. Flip up this blocker and then play Karn. Karn shuts off the treasure token. And if I wish for something now, it turns on discard, which was otherwise off. But if I don't wish for something, I lose my Karn for no value to any removal spell. I'm just going to grab Ensnaring Bridge and try to turtle up right now. Ah, Kolagon's Command. What a complete fucking nightmare that was. Alright. And they can kill Karn here. Alright, Chandra Torture Defiance, still a good draw. Got a lot of bangers here. This Blast Zone, I can start charging up to 5, I guess. Ugh. I have concerns. I think I just want to take 8 here. And I don't want to, but jumping with a permanent as powerful as Reflection of Kiki Jiki seems like a waste when I'm still near 20. What's the correct number for Blast Zone to be on? I'm going to bump it up to 3 here. They have Pyromancers and Fables and stuff of their own. Ooh. Chandra Fire Artisan. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exile the top card of my library. I may play it this turn. Hopefully it's a land or a relic. Those are the only 1-drops I have. Different Chandra. Okay. Can't play her this turn. Okay, now I have a reasonable... Or I have a permanent with loyalty counters on it for this Light Up the Night in my graveyard. There are plenty of draws that could make me dead in 1 turn now. Yep, I am exactly dead to this. Alright, sure, fine. Yeah, Lightning Bolt or Dash Dragaman both did it there. Disappointing. Almost stable. All we had to do was kill this Fury, and I think we're miles ahead. But they're a deck with Discard and Fury, and I'm a deck with just Fury. That was tight. On to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the draw in round 3. Another hand that is kind of mid. I can pitch something to Fury, Relics, or redraw. Playing against an opponent who is frequently on red Obosh. And there's no Obosh revealed, so they're not doing this today. But if I'm thinking of the correct person here, I think this is the person who pioneered or at least championed that deck for a very long time. I'm going to mulligan. I'm going to lean into the fact that we play Desperate Ritual and Gemstone Cavern and get immediately rewarded for it. Okay, I'll keep this hand. And I wish that I knew what my opponent was doing. I'm going to bottom the Blood Moon. Or I could bottom the Ritual, because I'm not doing turn 1 Blood Moon. I could also bottom Fury and try to go for turn 1 Blood Moon and just hope it's effective in the matchup. God, this is hard. Your hand disappears so fast when you mulligan and have Gemstone Cavern and a Ritual. Oh no. I think if my hand is just disappearing immediately, Ensnaring Bridge is the card that I want left in it when the dust settles. And I'm going to bottom Fury, put in Cavern, exile Mountain, or exile Blood Moon. No, I'm going to exile Mountain and give myself the choice between Blood Moon or Ensnaring Bridge on turn 1, depending on the matchup. That was a really hard mulligan decision. Okay, what did Foothills go? I'm going to Blood Moon this opponent. I could also Chandra right now and Blood Moon next turn. Yeah, that's probably better. If they're not doing anything on turn 1, I don't even have information yet. Oh, am I just getting spell pierced? Disappointing. Okay. Well, they appear to be Murktide, or this might be Creativity if they have Wooded Foothills in their deck. That's not a land that Murktide usually plays. This is a... Creativity is a deck that uses Spell Pierce and exclusively Mountains, so Wooded Foothills gets any fetch in their deck. Okay, Blood Moon's really good in this matchup if this is what they're doing. On Mana Source. Disappointing, but I will take the cantrip. Tap your graveyard. Yeah, this looks like Creativity to me. Which sucks, because they can stick it to Fairy this turn. Okay, EI. We're not getting to Fairy this turn. I am going to pop Relic to draw a card, because I think getting this Blood Moon down is the most important thing I can do in my entire life right now. Okay, draw a card. Come on, land. Come on, land. Come on, land. Oh my god, thank you. Splat. Okay. Creativity is famously awful against Blood Moon. They could have Fable of the Mirror Breaker. One of the few things they can actually do. Just going to play Bone Crusher. Crush some bones. Get a win condition going. Super awkward that I valued this Ensnaring Bridge so highly on my mulligan, and now it's just not a card I'm going to play. Hello, hello. Now we're cooking. I'm not casting this Karn because I can't. What if I could? Wait, this game's going to end pretty quickly if they don't figure something out immediately. And they did not. Cool. Blood Moon soloed the game. Just how we drew it up. Alright, Blood Moon is Busto. This is definitely creativity. Torpor Orb, Walking Ballista, viable here. Stone Brain, viable here. I think I want the Orb and the Brain in the Karn package rather than in the deck. Walking Ballista does help keep zappable tokens under control. Unlicensed Hearse controls Wrenn and 6 alongside my relics. Okay, I'm going to shave one Ensnaring Bridge. I would rather moon this opponent than bridge them, though bridge is also fine for the matchup. Koth, Jaya, Chandra, these all seem fine. Fury doesn't do a lot. They're Planeswalkers. Fury's pretty good. Changed my mind. The smashing hit Planeswalkers? Sure does. Nice. Light up the night that fun of can end the game. I like that. Yeah, maybe it's Jaya. I don't really need to slowly control the board full of creatures against this deck. Okay, on the draw with the Caverns again. I will keep this, put in the Cavern, exile. I think it's probably the bridge. This Karn can wish for that. I want to make sure I get to 3. Alright, now I feel silly, but not that silly. Not going to pay 3 life on this one. After getting BTFO'd by Blood Moon last game, they're going to have to respect that. And I'm just going to start casting spells that they're going to be motivated to counter. And having, like, knowing that I'm a dedicated Blood Moon strategy means that they, if they're sitting on a Spell Pierce, they kind of have to save it for the card that one-shots them. And as much as they might like to interact with this Chandra, they just were not able to there. Okay, they're binding it in the end step. That works. But I am getting out of reach of Spell Pierce, which they are still representing. Blast Zone. They could Creativity next turn, which I don't like. What does Karn do? Karn puts a win threat on the stack. Alright, I'm going to play Karn. Karn also, I mean, I assume this is going to get Spell Pierced, but Karn also represents Bridge, which, if they untap and shove a Creativity, can stabilize temporarily. Alright, let's see if we're getting Archon. Sure looks like it. Oh, okay. That's not an Archon. Deal. Okay. Raminap Ruins. I can Shatter Skull these 2 creatures. Spell Pierce still blows me out. 3, 4. I can play Chandra around Spell Pierce. That doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I'm just going to smash their 2 creatures. And if I get Spell Pierced, they got me. But if not, the board is clear. Just don't think I'm beating a Spell Pierce anyway. Here we go. That's handled. Discarded. Change the equation. And Archon. I don't even know what change the equation is. But counter a spell with mana value 2 or less. Counter a red or green spell with value 6 or less. Okay. It's a Flash Freeze variant. Alright, they're gonna be rewarded with 1 Archon here. Discard my Desperate Ritual and try to draw Ensnaring Bridge. Scavenger Grounds ain't it. Scavenger Grounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is probably just gonna die. Exile a Cavern. I'm pretty sure if I sacrifice a Planeswalker, that doesn't count as things leaving. Loyalty leaving it. It's just gone. And now Ensnaring Bridge doesn't even stabilize effectively because they can just copy Archon over and over again. I did not do what I needed to do here, which is moon them out of the game. Bone Crusher when I'm done on board? No thanks. Alright. Game 3. I get to be on the play. I think I do want this Torpor Orb in. Just something that messes with the Archon arrival. Orb better than Ballista. Ballista... Orb turns off my Fury and my Bone Crusher as well. Or not my Bone Crusher, my Seasoned Pyromancer. I could shave the hearse and just let Relic control graveyards. They haven't even played a run in 6 in 2 games. And they have it in their deck. It's just clearly not necessary for the plan. Would like to play first. Oh no. This no red source 2 legendary lands thing. Mulligan. Okay, I will keep this, though I am medium on it. I'm going to get rid of Koth. They're showing Spell Pierce. Found my 3rd land, that's good news. I'm going to save this Bone Crusher. I'm not just randomly going to deal 2 to their face. This could kill an important Goblin token or Dwarf token in the future. I would prefer Fable to resolve, and I do assume there is a counterspell in hand right now. They shocked this in. I think it's the one we just saw. Yeah, change the equation. Yep. No surprise there. If it was Spell Pierce, they would have just played a tap land. Brennan 6 is on the scene. Now Spell Pierce is being held up again. I'm facing down the thing now. Get creativity as soon as this turn. If I don't do something, they're going to creativity eventually, and then I lose then. I'm going to go for Fable. If they Spell Pierce this, then that's not a Dwarf token. But they have Ren, they can get a Dwarf token anyway. Yep, no Blood Moon forthcoming. Their deck has a lot of counter spells in it. Just tough to do what I need to do here. Just have to hope they don't creativity right now. Give me another turn to operate. At number 4, Blessing Ren. Okay, we didn't get creativity instantly. They're probably respecting Lightning Bolt at minimum here. A card that is not in my deck. Desperate Ritual, kinda cool. Give me a little burst of activity here. I am gonna loot here at least the Seasoned Pyromancer. Don't know that Karn is helping me at all. Bone Crusher can at least kill a Dwarf token. If I find a land, though, I can Desperate Ritual, Karn, Torpor Orb. Is that good? It's countered by so many things. Seasoned Pyromancer for sure, and yeah, I guess Bone Crusher's out too. Alright, so I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. That is the number that I wanted. It's Torpor Orb in my sideboard where it belongs. Did I bring it in? Am I in complete and incomplete? Seems that I did bring it in. Cool. I could play Chandra here, so basically dead anyway. I'm gonna Desperate Ritual out the Karn all the same, and I'll just go for what's his face? Its face. Coding. Or I could invest in Stone Brain right now. Hope to fade for a turn. I'm gonna go for Coding. This can be countered by change the equation, unfortunately. Right, we're in there. Lightning Bolt messes me up. They might start fetching dwarves here just to kill Karn. But Leyline Binding also works. Wasted my shot. Oh, okay. Left Karn there, took Coding. Fascinating. They must have Lightning Bolt. Or they just don't care. Also possible. Basic Plains is wild. Solving the Blood Moon problem. 1 card at a time. They've cashed in a Dwarven Mine. Looks bad. Yep. Sucks to suck me. And Ren is 2 turns away from Bolt forever. So they even have a real plan versus Ensnaring Bridge. I'll Fury the Ren, I guess. Is there a universe where Fury is more helpful than Reflection? No. I'm going to sack Fury on attack. And then if I draw another Fury, I still won't have enough mana or cards to copy it. I'm keeping the Fury. That one's bigger, at least. Fetching a Dwarf. We're getting recreativitied. Yep, alright, cool. Yeah, Blood Moon shuts this deck down, but I did very little else that they cared about. Just the Spell Pierce and change the equations did, in fact, change the equation of the matchup, where my goal is to resolve a powerful 3 that snowballs into a powerful 4, and if you just can't use your mana every turn because of soft counters, then what chance do you have? For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw against a Karuga the Macro Sage deck. I'm going to keep this. I have a turn 2 Blood Moon against a deck that can't do anything until 3 mana. Seems reasonable. I'm going to play Ramanap and Relic. I was going to play the Smashing tapped if I didn't have a 1-drop, but I do. So here we go. Godless Shrine. You got it, buddy. Okay. Shatter's called the Hammer Pass. I will pay the 3. Desperate Ritual. Blood Moon. How'd we do? Fetching in response. Disappointing basic lands in the deck. Violet Windswept Teeth. And now I'm going to need to find a 3rd mana source to get this party really going. But the 3-drop deck just missed a land drop, and I didn't. Let's go. Goblins in there. Another mountain. And your own Fable. That's cheating. An outrage. I am going to loot away, I think, Jaya and Fury seems so good. Koth's really good too. It's all really good. Just Jaya. She's certainly been the weakest of the cards. Now I have the option of... Oh, this is easy. I'm going to Koth minus Koth. And then use the mana to stomp their Shaman at red for each mountain I control, which is 4. And I'm going to start by stomping. And I did this all pre-combat so they couldn't block my Goblin. And I think it's better to leave Relic around, at least figure out what they're going to Fable. Okay, never mind. They're willing to go 2 for 1, pitching an Omnath. Clear that. All right. I'm not upset about that exchange. Okay, how many basics could your deck possibly contain? Prison Reef to Fairy in the bin, another mountain in play, another Fable. Uh-oh. Does this untap the mountain? It does. Okay, so I have 5 mana for Fury this turn, even if I don't draw a land. And if I do draw a land, I get to Fury and Bash for 4. Ensnaring Bridge. Float 1. Turn this into a creature. 2, 3, 4, 5. Fury. Light up your Gobbo. Exile a card from your graveyard. And pass the turn with Koth active. Fury in play. Start reflecting it next turn. Wow, dead. Dead's a card in your deck. Sure. That is dead. You clearly have some mitigating deck building options out of respect for Blood Moon here. Discarded 2 Solitudes. Alright. Oh, you can start casting Furies. That's actually rough. Fire. No. Koth, born of fire, lives a life of fire. Dying to fire. It's just not right. Ruga in hand. Speaking of fire, Chandra, hope she flips a land. Did in fact flip a land, a Gemstone Cavern, Gemstone Mountain. And I am going to bring the ruckus here. Gotta start getting them dead because I don't currently have an answer for the reflections. And they could start splinter twinning me in the near future. I'm probably going to cash in Relic for a card now. They have not been using their graveyard a whole lot. Elish Norn, Mother. She's pretty good. Turns my Fury right off. Okay, attacking Chandra is going to kill something. 2 damage to... Oh, an opponent or Planeswalker. Alright, this doesn't kill creatures. Alright, opponent take 2. Fair enough. Fine, I guess that's how that works. Strictly speaking, those are the words on the card. Pop the Relic. Get hungry. Another Chandra effect. A land. I'm going to start with activating this Chandra, see what she flips. A Seasoned Pyromancer. Cool. I can just dump out Ensnaring Bridge. Or Chandra. Bridge is probably better. I will start with an attack, though. Oh wait, force 7. Nope. Not a good attack. Man, it's force 7? They built this thing specifically to be Fury, didn't they? I can only play Pyromancer this turn, so if I want access to Chandra, I think I'm just giving up on Seasoned Pyromancer and getting my Chandras and the burn business going. I mean, they're on a 10-turn clock here. Sucks to lose Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, but it doesn't do its thing anyway. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Cycling Ketria Triumph like a chump. I have to assume Leyline Binding's in this deck, and they have 5 lands, including a Plains now, so they can cast that card if they draw it. I just need to stay Hellbent until my opponent takes 10. Second bridge, okay. Exile a card. Another Moon. Chandra plus deal damage. I will play the other Moon. Now we're insulated against Binding. I have 2 copies of both my important permanents. If they find a Fury, they could light me up, making 1,000,000 copies of Fury, and it's something they can cast under Moon, so I need to fade Fury for a while. And it gets double triggers. Oh my god, please don't draw Fury. Scavenger Grounds, okay. Exile the top card of my library. Gemstone Cavern. Doesn't really matter. Did she go off 7? Alright, they both go off at 7. Thinking my opponent, playing Bone Crusher. I'm not going to play this Cavern from exile. It's a legend, even though it's a mountain. It's going to keep my hand empty. There's only 1 Solitude left in their deck. Not that that helps on this battlefield anyway. Desperate Ritual, okay. That Fireball card is in my deck somewhere. It's actually really good here. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Don't mind if I do. Add a red, ping my opponent. Fable, I don't actually know if this is affected by Elish Norn or not, because I don't think so, right? Yeah, these are lore. The ability is triggered by lore counters, not by entering the battlefield. Yeah, okay. We're fine here. Okay, and my opponent is dead next turn to Chandra Ultimate. And now Chandra being at 7, even if they do find Fury and start spamming damage onto Chandra. Okay, take 2. They stopped the ultimate, but they fired themselves too. This is fun. I've never had this card in play before. Cycling a Triumph. The last vestige of the week. Okay, I can discard 2 cards if I do draw that many cards. Chandra's ultimate is you get an emblem with whenever you cast a red spell deals X to anything. I'm just going to keep these red cards in my hand. And ultimate little Chandra. Exile the top card of my library with Fire Artisan. Okay, here we go. Give me an emblem. Look at all these red cards I have. I'm going to cast Desperate Ritual, which will deal 2 to my opponent's face. And then I'm going to kill them with Fury. Or no, I can play Chandra, DOD. Not that it matters. All of these things kill my opponent. Let's go. Chandra, Dress to Kill emblem, lethal on the BoshNRoll channel. Nice. Okay, Prison Elements and accelerating them out were really good that game. I only saw fetch lands and basic planes. I don't know how good Boil is in the matchup. Torpor Orb seems insane for the matchup. There's nothing in here. Cityscape Leveler answers Elish Norn. I think all these cards are better in my Karn board than they are in my deck, though. I got BTFO'd last game by boarding in a card, thinking I was clever, and then it wasn't there when I had Karn. Yeah, deck's perfect. Submit the same 60. This hand does not go fast. I'm going to mulligan it. I have all these Gemstone Caverns. Okay, this one has Blood Moon. It doesn't accelerate, but the moon seems like an important part of the puzzle here. 2 mana, Ensnaring Bridge. And a bottom Karn. I think Moon Bridge and Fable, with the 3 lands to cast them, are the recipe for success here. Mountain, go. I'd love to draw a Ritual and get this moon down before they start doing 3-drop stuff. Misty Rainforest does not fetch planes. Oh, I drew Ritual. Easy game. They can't fetch planes with this. They can get Forest if they have Boseiju, but planes for Prismatic or Leyline Binding is not going to work here. They could force a negation. That's a card that could be in their deck, I guess. They could float blue and Brazen Borrow this. Basic Island is the answer. In that case, they could Brazen Borrow this whenever they feel like it. Don't even need to float for it. There's a Fable. Hate that for me. I can't stop their Goblin from attacking, so I'll just try to match it with my own and get Hellbent next turn. They do get a scary treasure here. Oh, they discarded a Binding. That's terrifying. Maybe they're just nowhere near casting it. I am pretty happy to trade off Goblins here. They need treasures more than I do. This Cavern, importantly, is naming nothing. And even if the Blood Moon leaves in the future, that Cavern still has no name to it. Discard 2 cards. Somehow, all of my cards are great. Guess I'm keeping them. Yeah, drawing this land gives me Smashing, which can kill the Goblin. I think removing this from play and sticking to my Blood Moon angle is how I want to play this game. Then I'll use Ensnaring Bridge to stop from getting Splinter Twinned by the other Fables. Discard another Binding. They're either rolled up on answers to Blood Moon or they just don't care about it. Karuga's in hand. Alright. Yeah, that's a way to go. Kiki-Jiki is non-legendary creature. If they're holding a Fury or Solitude, it doesn't matter. I think I have to invest in my Fable this turn. Oof, yeah, Force of Vigor pitching Karuga. That's a way to do it. At least Karuga's gone, but I'm in some distress here. Their whole deck's online. They can start Furying and copying Fury. Ugh. Okay. Ensnaring Bridge is going to have to win this game for me. Attacking with this rather than copying Fury and bashing me for 6. Or just leaving it up to answer a creature. I can't get my hand under reflection levels here. 2 Ensnaring Bridges, though. Hold the fort. I am dead on the board if they can answer Ensnaring Bridge and have 2 mana up to copy Fury twice. On land. Alright, cool. Draw a land. That's a good one. Now I can Ensnaring Bridge and I can stomp something to slow down their engine, their various many engines over there. I think I have to kill this Risen Reef, though I'm not excited about the reflections either. I'm going to wait for them to commit a copy to one of them. Oh, we're going after Fury. Weird. Does that mean there's another Force of Vigor in hand? Copying Fury. Alright. They're more interested in putting damage on the board than they are in drawing millions of cards. That makes me feel like they have a force already. Oh, yeah, we're dead. Sure. The answer was face up. We solved for X, and X equals dead. Force of Vigor, huh? What the shit? That card's not cool. Brotherhood's End. They have a surprising number of creatures that I can actually kill. I really wish this was Anger of the Gods, though. The deck is misbuilt. And I think the artifact mode of this is not worth beating up your Planeswalkers, which are a core of your deck. I don't need Relic. They can't be a Wrenn and 6 deck with Karuga. Maybe I should have noticed that last game. I have 1 slot here. I'm thinking about Boil or Walking Ballista. Ballista can control things like Fable tokens or Risen Reef. Boil can just Shadow Realm my opponent. We saw Basic Island and Ketria try on this game, so they have islands in their deck. They're a Risen Reef deck, they're an Omnath deck. There's definitely islands. It's just not guaranteed to actually do anything. Ballista I can wish for if it's appropriate. Boil is just a card, though, so I'll put Boil in my deck, because that's the only way I can get it. A Blood Moon with only 1 mana source. Gonna mulligan this. Oh, come on, deck. You're full of mana. 1 of 5. Okay. Keep this. Send the Cavern and Fable to the bottom. So I think Fable is better than Seasoned Pyromancer. If I'm Hellbent, Pyromancer will do more. Alright, I'm planning to be Hellbent, so here we go. I'm going to turn to a Blood Moon and hope that it carries the way for Seasoned Pyromancer to get something going. Gemstone Cavern. Okay, I'll play that one. Desperate Ritual, Blood Moon. Turn 2 on the play. I hope this is annoying enough that it slows them down, that I can get something going. Basic Islands in play, Boils in my deck somewhere. They could ice me in my draw step. That would be annoying. Okay, cool. Easy peasy is gonna do the thing that it does. Desperate Ritual, Fable. I like those cards. Ritual less so, but at least that makes any of my 4-drops solid. And they fired rather than iced. Fair enough. Yeah, if they end up with the first Fable here, which seems likely because that's how this goes every single blessed time. Okay, Blast Zone, Fable. Modern format needs Wasteland. I'm just saying. They get to do some looting and they get to attack. 2 caverns gone. Be a huge bummer if they can kill my goblin. Ugh. Yep, that was the bummer. I wanted to trade that, but if goblin is just generating tokens every turn, what chance do we have to lock them out with a Blood Moon? I am discarding both of these cards. Gotta get something going here. Chandra, Dress to Kill, and Fury. I guess I'm playing Chandra now, ticking her up, hoping she still exists next turn, which will give me the mana to Fury. I love it. The next treasure they make, they can hardcast Force of Vigor, and it's not even a 2-for-1 anymore, and they can do it on their own turn. Oh, something's happening. God damn! Ilish Norn? You couldn't have any other magic card that exists? It had to be that one? Well, Fury doesn't work anymore. Son of a biscuit. I could still play Fury. I could play Fable. I think I should spend 5 mana this turn, though. Fury is at least a respectable body. God, that sucks. It is my Christmas wish that one time in all of Magic the Gathering, my opponent would simply like not have Fable on turn 3 or not have Ilish Norn on the turn they unlock 5 mana when I'm about to Fury their board. Just do something else. I don't know. Put Kuruga in your hand. That turn you could have played another Fable. Play Solitude. I don't give a shit. Finding probably going to take out Fury. It's because their board has me beat on stats. Oh, they get 2 things because of Ilish Norn. Alright. We played this game and we made a chance. But yeah, turns out the 4-color decks can just easily shrug off Blood Moon with a single basic involved, or even 0 basics because Fable's just a red card. What a sad state of affairs we're in. On to the final round. We're going to try not to 0-5 this league. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the draw in the final round. Backs against the wall for the reverse trophy. I will keep this hand that can accelerate whatever piece I deem appropriate for the matchup. We do have 3 mana on turn 2, which is one of the goals of the deck. Blooming Marsh, this looks like Yawgmoth. Okay. Relic of Progenitus, okay. This does have text in this matchup, and Fury's really good in this matchup. They're eldritchly evolving. This can get a 3-drop. Okay, what's the plan here? Grist, and then just grind me? That would be miserable. Yep. Grist it is. Killing a young wolf. I think we can figure out how to outmuscle a Grist. At least I hope so. Desperate Ritual for Fable is going to be my line here. I think having my own creature that's bigger than an insect in play and the possibility of mana ramp is where I want to be with my life. Shocking an Overgrown Tomb, plussing Grist. They could Chord for 2 here. Ralph's Messenger's in the graveyard now. That's not a card they usually play a whole lot of. They can still combo up without it, but that is a good one to be rid of. Fable Trigger, what do we got? I'm definitely discarding Ensnaring Bridge. This matchup is not entirely about attacking, and Light Up the Night could just kill a creature. I don't play a lot of removal, so it might be Karn that goes here. They are really good at killing Planeswalkers with Grist. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Karn. Oh, sick. Now you're in trouble. What do I do with this information? I'm going to attack Grist with Goblin and see what happens first. If I can Fury and kill Grist, I'm going to do that. If they double block, then there's no creatures to sack to Grist. If they just don't block, I can light up the Knight and kill Grist. I got options. Lots of them. And this Fury is very exciting. Okay, they are courting for some 2-drop here. Wall of Roots could just block. It's pretty effective. Or the... Yeah, I was going to say the shitter, the Spirit, 2/1 Spirit with Undying, but that's a lot worse with the Relic around. Wall of Roots has 2 damage on it. 3/4. I can't quite finish that off. If I'm patient on Fury, I can get a really good one next turn. I could just light up the Knight, kill Wall of Roots. Kills +1 if the target's a creature. Okay. This is a creature, so it has 2 damage on it. 1, 3. X equals 2, which means it'll deal 3. Yeah, I'm gonna finish off the Wall of Roots. That's a Chord of Calling gone, and Mana Source gone. I can still pop Relic if I need to with my treasure. And if they either don't kill my Goblin, or don't make me use my treasure, or I just draw a land, I can Fury for actual creature mode next turn. Yawgmoth is pretty medium here, and it's gonna draw a bunch of cards and kill my Goblin if they wanted to, but it dies to Fury. They can't combo off with Relic in play. Here's the attack. Let's see if they want to start sinking life points into this or not. Right, yep, they're just killing my Goblin before I even get a turn. A reasonable thing to do. Another Fable. So I am going to have to... Or no, Chandra and minus and kill Yawgmoth. I don't have to Fury anything yet. Chandra, get in there. Go for it to Yawg. Bang. Second insect to draw on the way out. Which kind of rules, because that means they don't have that insect to sack to Grist next turn. Their deck full of creatures, I imagine they could come up with one if they feel like they need to clear Chandra. Grist is at ultimate levels, but it only deals 4. Taking an insect, milling a Strangleroot Geist. Combo pieces disappearing into the graveyard one at a time. Get rid of them. My shields are currently down. I can't Relic anybody. And another Yawg, okay. They can finish off my Reflection, but now I can plus Chandra for mana and Fury the Yawg. Reflection is dead. Long live Reflection. Land is still an excellent draw here, because then I can hold up Activate Relic, which is the last thing I'm really worried about here. On land. Blood Moon, not really interested in that. Poke their graveyard. They'll make red. Maybe there's a world where I need to be extremely careful, and I could pitch cast sacking the Blood Moon, or pitching the Blood Moon to cast Fury, and then I get to hold up Relic going into the next turn and play Fable this turn. I don't know, that feels really cowardly to me. I guess I don't actually play enough Yawgmoth to know what their critical mass is. Like, they have 6 mana, no creatures. They can generate an insect, and they win from here at 11 life. This Birds of Paradise can kill Fury or Chandra with Grist. I have 2 different permanents that are problems here. Going for the Fury, leaving me with the Chandra. Love it. I would still love to draw a land. We remain in a situation where 6 mana is a lot more than 5. This one is not a land, but does make mana. I could double spell this turn. If I go red off Big Chandra, cast Little Chandra, make red. I think I want to Blood Moon my opponent here. Oh, I can deal 1 to Grist. That's cool. Hasn't come up yet in the league, but legal play. And I like the Moon here. They have green, but this turns off Chord of Calling. It makes it really hard to double spell. Yawgmoth is thousands of miles away at this point. They can Chord in response. Get a 2-drop. That's pretty effective. Oh, Endurance. That works too. And that kills Chandra Torch. Disappointing. Oh, there's more. Oh, they're probably just drawing a card, yeah. Drawing a card on the way through. You got it. Okay. They have green. They have a creature on board. They have Endurance away my Light Up the Night. They could kill both Planeswalkers if they want to this turn. Look. Those two Yawgmoths, despite dying as soon as they came into play, did draw 4 or 5 cards on the way through, and that's where we're struggling now. They attacked Dress to kill. They expect Grist to minus here on other Chandra. Oh yeah, especially now that you have a Young Wolf in the mix. Oh, they didn't minus. They're not worried about Chandra Torch. Interesting. I hope I can punish this somehow. Finally drew a land. That gets me up to 6 mana. I could play Fable and Seasoned Pyromancer here. That taps me out of Relic again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can make it 7, so Grist hits me for 7. I'm at 11. I don't think that's what Grist is going to be doing this game. I'm going mana on Chandra and playing Fable and Seasoned Pyromancer and just refilling my hand. If my opponent wants to count rectangles, I will count rectangles as well. And I'm adding many rectangles to my board and hand this turn. Those rectangles are not good, but thankfully Fable can get rid of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can cord now. They have enough green creatures. They could cord for another Yawg. Yawg draws cards here, but doesn't go infinite. Grist is still making insects. I don't like that. This feels like a cord. Or they just have nothing going on. I don't know. The fact that they haven't killed Chandra and had 2 shots to do so is really distressing. Endurance is attacking Chandra now. I'm going to block with Seasoned Pyromancer for sure. That did its job. Now Fable will turn my Blood Moons into real cards. They played a fetch land from hand. 1 card left over there. Okay, deck, it's time to turn the corner. I've done all this work. Help me out. Discard 2 Blood Moon. Draw 2 real cards. Ramanap Ruins and Bone Crusher Giant. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If I plus Chandra for mana, I can stomp and play Bone Crusher. Make red. Stomp the Ignoble Hierarch. This is a source of mana under Blood Moon that I'd like less of. Cast Bone Crusher. Creature that it can interact meaningfully. And poke my opponent with the Relic. It's probably about time to pop this Relic. I would lose my Seasoned Pyromancer. Not sure that matters. They gotta start respecting this Chandra, right? She's been in turn 3 or 4 turns longer than I would have ever let it happen. Okay, they're finally minusing this Grist. They realize what this game's actually about right now. Oh, they're targeting Bone Crusher. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna pop Relic now while the Young Wolf's in the graveyard. Get rid of that. Koth of the Hammer's in the mix. We are playing 2 different games here, and it could be because they know something I don't. Could be something that I know something they don't. I don't actually know who's in the right here, but we clearly have very different intentions with this game. Firing off a second Grist. All right. This one can sack an insect to kill Chandra now. All right. They're doing it. Wow, they're still killing my Goblin. Because I killed Ignoble last turn, this attack does not kill Chandra. There's only 1 Exalted. Sure. Another turn with Chandra in play. Good way to live. In the olden days when Chandra was first printed, she would be able to kill Grist here, but she only deals damage to players now. You used to be able to redirect any damage to a player, or to a Planeswalker that would be dealt to a player, any non-combat damage. But Fury is a whole draw here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can minus Koth and just dump out my whole hand. I could also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough. I'm gonna cast Koth and minus, and then plus Chandra and see if I find a spell I can cast. Because Koth is actually a ritual here. At red for each mountain I control. 6 in the pool, plus Chandra for flipping a top card. If it's a spell, I can cast it. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Don't mind if I do, and I have exactly enough left to play Fury. That was a sick turn. Fury. Gonna kill Mana Dork, Grist, Insect, and put 1 on Endurance for good luck. Okay, I feel like I'm officially over the hump now. We've been kind of dancing back and forth. My opponent's been making some plays that don't make sense to me, but that might be because they were executing a different plan than I was trying to counter. But I definitely feel fully in control at this point, and they agree. Okay. Yawgmoth for the final round. Brotherhood's End absolutely coming in. I think I want Ballista in the deck. I want Unlicensed Hearse in the deck. Stonebrain I think I want in the Karn package, not in the deck. Spyglass, same story. Alright, what's less good here? I need 3 cuts. This might be a Jaya matchup. No, she's kind of failed the test. She was a fun experiment that did not get where I needed it to go. Their deck can win pretty easily without attacking, so I'm going to trim on Ensnaring Bridge, still leave 2 in, plus I can Karn for them if I need them. Blood Moon is medium. I'll still leave some in, because it is part of the overall package to constrict their options, but they have a ton of basics and dorks that I don't want to overload on that. They have a turn 2 Fable that can ramp into Chandra or Karn. I'll keep it. Keeping a 7 that has 3 mana on turn 2 is most of what I can ask for with this deck. I could also ask to top deck Relic again. The oppressive Relic of Progenitus, ruining my opponent's graveyard, starting on turn 1. You fetch, I poke. No graveyards allowed. Fetching a Forest. They're going to fetch around Blood Moon, and I hope that stunts their natural development in some amount. Alright. This is a lot of mana. This is what this deck does. They don't seem that stunted, I gotta admit. And I'm gonna ritual out this Fable. Need to get something going here. And I made a mistake last game that I am correcting now. I played Gemstone Cavern on turn 2, figuring like, it doesn't matter. They're all lands. But Gemstone Cavern is a legendary land. And I had Blood Moon last game too. So it makes colorless without Blood Moon in play. And it's a legendary land, so redundant copies are actively awful. So I will be keeping it in my hand to loot it away. Got the Yogg. It's here. How deep are we going? How deep can we go? Bright Arbor, Birds of Paradise can be yeeted to clear my Goblin if they want to be that aggressive. And it seems like they do. Okay. This is really aggressive. Not a Yogg expert. Might be perfectly correct, but feels crazy to me. Another Relic. We can discard 2 cards. Yes, I would like to do that. Gemstone Cavern definitely going. And I want the Chandra. Karn's good too. Maybe it's just 1 card here. Yeah. I'll just do that. And Shatterskull Smashing. I will play this tapped while I have the opportunity. And then finish off their graveyard. And I can pop one of these relics to draw a card this turn. Once the graveyard's empty, I don't need to keep 2 around forever. I could have played Ramunap Ruins or shocked in Shatterskull Pass and held up double relic activation. I hope they don't combo me out through a relic with no graveyard starting with this board. Young Wolf. Okay. Wrist. Okay. A lot of game objects. With all this going on, I might actually just leave my relics in play. I have my next land drop lined up. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play Chandra, ding the Yogg, move on with my life. And the way this is set up, if they're gonna Yogg and kill Reflection in response, Young Wolf will be edible from the graveyard in some way, unless they sack Wall of Roots, because the token won't be there. Yep. And do you want to sacrifice Wall of Roots to protect Young Wolf, or lose your Young Wolf forever? Okay. They did not finish off the Reflection, left the Young Wolf behind. They'll eat up the graveyard. They don't have double black available. They do have 5 cards in hand, which is a lot. Blood Artist, that's potentially scary. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can't board here. You can, or no, you've already used Wall of Roots. Yeah, okay. With this land, you can Eldritch Evolution now. Yep, that is what's happening. Oh, they sacked Wolf, though, so this can't get Yogg. They could have sacked the wall and gotten Yogg. What 3-drop do we want here? And they did it pre-combat, so Young Wolf didn't pressure Chandra. This is not what I thought was going to happen this turn. Okay, sacking Strangleroot Geist to kill Reflection, and then it comes back with haste and finish off Chandra. This works. Not where I thought the turn was going, but it does work. Let's see if they respect Chandra this game. They have a chance to pick it off clean right now. Last turn they left it in play for a long time. Yep, straight to the face. With no Planeswalkers in play, Brotherhood's End is a insane draw here. Just clear this entire board. Pyromancer. I will not be casting that card. I will be casting Karn the Great Creator, who's probably going to get Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, I think so. If I can get behind Ensnaring Bridge with multiple relics controlling the graveyard, they can still ping me out with Blood Artist slowly but surely, but that does take a lot of their angles of attack off. Ignoble Hierarch. One card left in their hand right now. If it's a route to Yogg, we're in trouble. If not, we might be able to grind through this. Wow, chucking Grist forever. Kill Karn. Pitching Wall of Roots. This does put 2 largely irrelevant cards into the graveyard, where now they can go off with Yogg. Yeah, they actually have the full combo here if their last card is Yogg. Taking 5. I don't expect to get another turn here. Oh wow. They've passed priority. They don't have Yogg. My best draw is a land. Or at least something I can get out of my hand. I would take a Ritual, I would take a 1-drop. Not there are 1-drops. Karn the Great Creator is not what I wanted. Okay. Seasoned Pyromancer is going to loot away these 2 Karns, make a bunch of dinguses, and try to get me into a spot where I can Ensnaring Bridge the game out in the future. Out of here, Karns. Okay. Something is happening. Still worried about Blood Artist. Still a lot of lines that can kill me through Bridge here. But I have 2 relics up, unlikely to die through Graveyard combo now. Ignoble Hierarch can still attack even if I'm Hellbent under Bridge. It has 0 power at the time that it attacks. That's just an interaction to be aware of. Endurance. I don't think I care about this at all. But putting all my good cards back in my deck. Don't use my graveyard in that sort of way. Except for my 2 Seasoned Pyromancers, which are still currently in play. Wow, okay. They are running out of gas over there. Okay, deck. I would love to draw land or Desperate Ritual. Fury. That might be even better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just casting this thing. And take out the Blood Artist. That way the reach is gone. And yeah, I take 3 here from the final pings on the way out, but so much of their board is gone now. And I'm just going to zap their graveyard because I can't do any better. Okay, I'm at 6, and the board is completely stable. And I'm threatening Ensnaring Bridge to make it even more stable next turn. Their Blood Artist is both out of play and out of the game. They would need to find Geralf's Messenger and loop it. Evolution on Young Wolf. So a 3-drop, this could be the Geralf's Messenger trying to get the burn done. They could pivot back to Grist. Outland Liberator. Okay. This kills the Ensnaring Bridge in my hand. Kinda. Oh, baby. Alright. Exile a card from your graveyard. Exile a card from your graveyard. And what is the best way to play this turn? I think it's just pre-combat Fury. Keep the board clear. They get to kill one of my relics for free, but my relics have done a lot of work. 2 on Liberator, 2 on Endurance. And they scooped it up. We're on the board. Fended off the reverse trophy at the very end. Okay, so what we learned in this league is that Blood Moon is not necessarily lights out against the format. And we built a deck to maximize early Blood Moons, which might be a fundamental building mistake. The decks that are in trouble to Blood Moon have ways to mitigate it. I mean, Blood Moon was certainly good. We got wins off it in this league, but we also had it in play against 4-color decks and then lost anyway. Kinda mid. I thought Ensnaring Bridge was better than Blood Moon in most situations. That actually does attack the format in a meaningful way, especially if we're hiding behind Planeswalkers. Jaya was terrible, but Chandra Dress to Kill was excellent. I'm going to bring another Chandra in the deck, cut the Jaya, and I'm going to turn this Brotherhood's End into Anger of the Gods. This just kills the creatures we want to kill, even has some exile upside. You could play like Kozilek's Return or Pirate Clasm if you want an instant version of this, but I don't know that that's important in the format. I think 3 is more important than being an instant. Karn was pretty clunky throughout. I don't know, and I'm not going to do a full Karn rebuild right now because that would be involving the whole sideboard, but we might just want 4 Ensnaring Bridge in the main, cut the Karns, and you get a 3rd Season Pyromancer, another Koth, and another Fire Artisan. Or you could add more Light Up the Nights, which there were more copies of in the original list, like I said. I wouldn't play 3 or 4 of this, but maybe 2, especially cool with all of the looting effects in the deck. 4 is a lot of Gemstone Cavern. The fact that it's a legendary land is a huge hit. I'd probably play 3 of these and add maybe another Shatterskull Smashing, or even just a Ramunap Ruins. Just some normal land here. You could also even main deck some number of Anger of the Gods if this becomes just pure Planeswalker control. I think you still want 4 Blood Moons, because it is the type of card that demands an answer, and if they don't have it, they might lose. And demanding answer is where we want to be. I wish I had more interaction. There was basically the 2 Stomps and 4 Furies in the deck that could remove a creature. We didn't play against any Ragavans this league, but I suspect they would have been trouble. Oh, Light Up the Night does that too. Okay, I want a 2nd Light Up the Night. I want a 4th Ensnaring Bridge. I actually think cutting the Karn makes a lot of sense. Just don't do Karn stuff. Have a normal sideboard, max out your cool red Planeswalkers that do stuff, and then you get the extra Ensnaring Bridge, you get the extra Season Pyromancer, and then we're moving in the right direction. This build is reasonably solid for a Karn version. I just don't think we want the Karn version. I do think we want to be actual mono red and focus on just assembling the Gatewatch of red Chandra Planeswalkers. Michael, thank you for sharing this deck. I hope my changes to it get you where you want to go, send you down the correct path. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon and the sponsors that make this channel possible, and I'll see you next time.